Hey everyone, welcome back to Adventures with Edna. I'm Chris.
I'm Chance. I just got my brown belt a few days ago, and I also know some superpowers. Watch this. Oh, got it.
Well, now the Chance is back. We're going to get back on part 2 of the transmission install. Originally this was going to be a one-part video, but if you saw the first part, then you know what happened and why we had to come to a stop. But today we're going to get back in here, especially since Edna has been sitting in the driveway for a week now, and frankly, that's just not her style. So we're going to get her back together and get her back on the road.
It's quite frankly, not frankly.
Alright, so picking up where we left off last week, we were getting ready to put this cross shaft in for the clutch fork. That's supposed to go on there, and there's supposed to be a pin that goes through that hole right there to hold the clutch in place, but we didn't have it. And to make matters worse, I had to order it, and then as soon as it came in, I found out that I did in fact order it, and it just wasn't with the rest of the parts. So that was a major screw up on my part, and we're hoping to fix that today. So first we have to look and see how this orients versus the old transmission. So we're going to check that out real quick. Alright, so hopefully you guys can see this okay, but this is where the shaft sticks out, right there, with this end right here. That needs to kind of cock back slightly like that, and the clutch fork goes this way. Wait, no, that doesn't go that way. It goes this way. That's going to slide onto there. So now, in relationship, is that right? Yeah, looks like it. Alright, that looks about right to me. So we'll go back over here and put it in. Alright, there's just these couple of little things we need to do before it goes in. Alright, so right here, underneath, is where that intermediate shaft for the lower part of the gears, the name's suddenly forgetting me. This right here, we're going to put a little bit of sealant on that. I cleaned that up off camera with a little bit of carb cleaner, but there is a possibility it can leak, but it doesn't actually spin in there, so we're going to put a little bit of sealant over that.
Can I do it? Can I put more on it?
Yeah, just smear that over that little hole real quick.
Dang, I should have put it on that finger.
Looks good.
My fingers are very gross.
All right, next, what we need to do is we have our shaft and we have our new bushings in here, but we want to grease those, so we're going to use a little bit of the assembly lube to go into those holes. You want to get greasy?
A little bit.
A little bit?
I want to work.
All right.
That's going to make us get
Get yourself a little bit of that.
That is hard.
About that much.
Ooh, it's green. What is this, like Hulk boogers?
Yeah, Hulk boogers. All right, now stick it into this hole and smear it in there, like all the way. Make sure you touch all of the gold.
I need more.
It's like picking your nose, except you're picking somebody else's nose.
Like Hulk's nose.
Like Hulk's nose.
Because it's green.
That must be the first Saturday of the month. Tornado warning. Test. That means it's 1 o'clock.
Look at my finger. Look how much boogers he has up there.
That's so gross.
Look at this. Yo, Hulk's got a lot of boogers.
Let's get this one here.
Roll it back. Not that way, the other way.
Alright, now.
Is that the smell of grease?
That's the smell of grease.
Of Hulk boogers.
Alright, so now we're going to put this in.
What if I could turn it like that?
That'd be pretty wild.
Should I try?
Can you? Alright, so this has got to go through into here. And then ultimately to there.
Maybe I should try.
Alright, now we got the shaft in here.
Yeah, should I try to turn into Hulk?
You think you can?
Yeah, let's see.
That's all there was to that. Would be nice to get that done last weekend.
Alright, Dad, I'm gonna try. 1, 2, 3.
totally green there. Alright, so we got that in, we got our pin in. Next is our throwout bearing. Alright, so now we're just going to take a little bit more of the Hulk snot and put it in this little hub right here. We don't want that coming out and getting on our clutch, so we got to keep it minimal, but you want it to slide across this little hub nice and easily when you're pushing your clutch. So we're going to take that with our little spring. Here, hold that for just a second.
This is heavy.
Alright, we're going to take that. That's going to slide on here. Line up with our forks. And then we're going to put our little turn spring on here. There. Yeah. We operate our clutch. Look. Cool, huh? You want to do it? That's what's moving when I push the pedal to switch gears. Alright, now we have a couple of small things to do back here. We never did put that safety wire in last week. I've got it right here, so we got to put that in.
Okay. 13 minutes. Ah! This is Hulk boogers. Yo, that's a Hulk booger.
Are you playing in the grease?
No.
You got some on your nose. Alright, so we're just going to take a little bit of this safety wire here. Couldn't find my normal cutters, so we had to get out the electrical wire cutters. Alright, so you can see these are banjo style bolts to get this wire in, and this just keeps them from backing out. Nobody likes the back of your transmission falling off while you're driving. Why are you looking so serious? What are you talking about? Willis?
Willis?
Putting this wire in isn't as much fun as I thought it was going to be. I'll go get my needle nose.
What's a needle nose? Because all this stuff is stuff that adults do.
Yeah, but you got to learn sometime. It's like adult Legos.
So why do I... Or what if I get like a boat?
That's definitely not as fabulous as I thought it was going to look. I thought this part was going to be fun putting this wire in, but it's really not. I was hoping you would. Alright, that's what you call a professional wrap job. Alright, one more quick thing I gotta do is put a little sealant over these holes for those shafts. They don't spin in there, but it is possible that they could leak. So I cleaned those off with a little bit of carb cleaner, and now we're just gonna put this around it. A little bit more over here. Now, I still have to go back and put that cotter pin right here. I can't seem to figure out where my cotter pin kit is, so I may have to run to the store and get some, because there's also going to have to be a cotter pin to go over here where the shaft to the clutch pedal connects. Alright, almost since New Hope. Alright, how much fun is it to get it back in the hole? I need some more light. Oh man, it's close. There we go, right there. Just drop it right in. Bring the transmission back down a little bit, or the engine, like that.
Yeah.
Alright, hit the starter button and watch there. Does it look cool?
Yeah.
That's what it looks like when it's spinning. You know, normally the shifter's right on top here and you shift through the different gears. But I've got it in reverse so you can see what it looks like.
What if it was in drive? What if it was in drive?
Then this would turn the same direction as everything else. But see, look, this is turning backwards from all that.
So if it was turning the other way, it'd be going forward?
Yeah, now watch. Hold it. Don't touch it. Alright, now it is. It all goes the same way now.
Goes the other way.
Now, I guess that's probably enough for now. If you want to hit it one more time. What do you think? Is that cool?
Yeah, it's loud.
That part that I have in the BMW, the drive shaft, that slides on here and that goes to the back to make the wheels turn. Alright, now I got to start putting the bolts back in it. I got to put these two bolts in here, and I got to put the bolts in all the way around here. And then I got to slip the drive shaft back in, and then I got to clean up and paint the shifter tower before it goes back on.
When you're done?
Yep. Sweet. Now we're going to take this one back out because we didn't put this back on. Alright, next we got these big bolts that go into the back mount. Alright, we're back under Edna now to try and get some of these bolts here tightened for the rear frame mount, or for the rear transmission mount, and then get the bolts that go through it into the mount tightened up. I'm gonna have to loosen this up a little bit just to try and give myself some leverage, because you can't quite squeeze the bolts in through that hole. You could with the old one, but the new one you can't. Now, can we do this without pinching my fingers? This is a weird way to get it on, but it's working. Well, there's one. Huh? It's on camera. Beside my head.
Is that your last thing you're gonna do?
I'm close to being finished. I just, like, if I could get this bolt done, I could probably get everything done pretty quickly. But this bolt doesn't want to start. This is getting annoying. I'll have no work on this bolt. 20 minutes? So the reason this bolt didn't go in is because it's stripped out. So we're gonna go get another one. And some cotter pins. That was you.
No, it wasn't. Not that heavy. And by the way, it started when you started sitting down.
It's totally you.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, it was. Everybody heard it. So let's take a moment to talk about the way I put that bolt in and it got stripped out. Now remember, it's not stupid if it works. It's only stupid if you do it a second time and then it doesn't work the second time. Then it only makes it partially stupid. Right?
Right. Did you get it in?
Almost. I'm just tightening it now.
What are you gonna do after you're done?
Let me tighten some other bolts.
Now what?
I'm gonna go underneath and tighten these other two real quick. Where did my socket go? Oh yeah, you can lose the socket when you haven't even gone anywhere. Alright, I found it. Alright, the only thing left to do down here is reattach the clutch linkage, which is just hanging, and put the drive shaft back in. I gotta do a little bit of work on this clutch pedal really quick before we can reattach everything. And not cut the brake lines, or not the brake lines, but the brake lights. Wire. Where's the brake lights? Back when I first got Edna, I could not get the pedal to adjust off the floor, and I had to make this little extension piece to go in here so that it would adjust right. And we're assuming that we don't need this anymore since we just replaced the clutch. So we're going to take that piece out real quick. I also got a nice new bushing to go on the pedal. That way everything with the pedal should feel brand new. I guess I could put this over here where it might be able to be seen when I'm doing. I don't think you can see up in there very well. Take my word for it, I'm taking a piece out. Alright, we got a nice new bushing to go inside here. There's a tension spring there. That's going to stay in. Take this old bushing piece out. There's another clump there. Okay. Cool. Now, new pieces. Alright, got new bushings here. They'll just clip onto here. Come on, let's go. It's where you go. It's right on there. People are getting into these weird little stupid problems that are slowing me down. I don't like it. I guess sometimes you gotta do the job from up top. Alright, now we have a nice pin. Nice little bag of new cotter pins. Make sure it doesn't fall back out. I don't have a lot of room under here. Oh, that kind of sucks. Can't see what I'm doing. My hands are all in the way. It didn't work. Okay, so it's mostly in. All I gotta do is see if I can get some feel for where the clutch engages from up top. If it is, then I can put the cotter pin in. Got one more cotter key to put in, which is that one under here that I mentioned earlier in the video, which I was pretty sure I was going to forget, but right here. So next, let's put the speedometer cable back in. So, I got 600 weight gear oil, which is what this calls for. I was able to pick this up from early Ford V8 parts, so it's nice to have them close. This is what's supposed to be in there. And it is thick. Look at that stuff, it's like pouring honey. Alright, we're gonna let that sit for a minute. Now, port number 2. Now, you don't have to overfill these things. You only have to fill it up to the first plug, or to the fill plug, which I'm watching for inside of there. I'm getting pretty close now. Oh, and we're there. Yeah, it's going to be a little high now, but I don't think that's going to hurt anything. Look at that oil move now. Oh yeah! Alright, so almost everything is in now except for the shifter and the inspection plate. Well, there's just a little cover on the top. It kind of hides it covers up the clutch is what I'm saying, and you can pull it off to look at it. Now, I'm going to take that off of the old transmission and clean those up, paint those, and put those on. So that's what's next, and that's the only thing that's remaining other than just putting the interior back in and the drive shaft. I've been spraying these for most of the day here. It does not look good, but neither did the other one. And Chancel's been playing with my brush.
Give it to me like...
Okay, I'm gonna show y'all a little bit around the truck of what he's done. He pulled out the seat that we were on. He's working on it a little bit. Right here, he's especially working on that. He's been putting it in. He's been working on it for about 2 or 3 hours. And I think it's really cool how he can do this stuff. One day I'll be able to do this stuff. He's been, gears in. These are all the tools he's been using just to do that. Wow. So, when I pressed, that button, right about here, well, we put like a liquid inside. Look at that liquid. You probably can't see that blue stuff right beside it. It's a liquid. You can kind of see the bubbles, but I'm guessing they're supposed to spin. That's what they do. Oh, it's hard. It's probably a soapy thing or something, and it's just really cool. Much of this stuff, I got no clue what it's called. He said that he wants this truck to look like what it looked like back in 1950, and he wants it to look like the exact same truck. Because the old one was rusted, and it used to be red, but then he got a new one and spray painted it red just so it could look like the same truck again. He's got some wires right here. I don't know what it's for. It's probably to... Oh, I know what it's for. Well, kind of, but I think it's to keep it together. Don't want to push it off. I'm guessing you can spin this. Right now he's spraying over there. That red thing. Really cool. The problem is the button right here. See, yeah, it's pretty cool. Spin it. Spins really good. It's spins left and right. Some of the other things that he's been working on is stuff down here, which is under the truck, like under this thing. I hope you can see it because I can't. But he's been working on stuff down there and there, just all around this.
You want to go show them the gears on the old transmission?
Doing really good. Sure. Here is the gears on the old transmission. This one is disgusting. And a lot of the parts are broken. There's a broken part right here. And in this area. And what it is most of these are straight, but this one right there is not. So that got ruined. He's also putting that liquid stuff in this one also.
That's all the noise we keep hearing in the videos whenever we drive everywhere.
What is?
It's toast. These broken gears right here, that's what's making all that noise.
He's got a lot of grease right there, up in here. So that's pretty gross. I'm going to show you all the things that he's been working on over here. He just spray painted these. I don't want to touch these because they're wet and I don't want to ruin the paint job he did. Dang, that thing is long. That's like 2 feet. So this black pole right here going all the way up, that's about 2 feet or 1 and a couple inches. This was part of the old one, like part of the old transmission from over here on that one that I just showed you. And I don't know if he's gonna put it on the new one or if he's gonna not put it on my guess is he's not going to. But I'm now gonna go hand over the camera to him because I gotta wash my hands.
Alright, we're basically just finishing this up now. I just greased the throwout bearing so the little plate can go on. We'll tighten these screws up here. Alright, so next we gotta put our shifter cover on and seal that down. Alright, we're gonna put our gasket in. Alright, so all we gotta do is put a little bit of silicone on here. I already cleaned it with some carb cleaner. Figures that the gasket tore on me. This only goes on one way. See, the bolt holes are up in the corner here on this side. Put a bunch of sealant right there just to make sure that seals where it tore. Alright, we have to line our shift forks up on the shifter cover. This one goes on here, this one goes on here. So we have our shifter in neutral right now, and that's where the transmission is currently set. So all we have to do is set it on there and bolt her up. Alright, let's go get the bolts. Alright, and of course we dropped one on the floor. Let's take a washer. Where'd that one go that I dropped?
On this floor.
Because math. Because math. Right, that's second and third. That's reverse. Shift happens. Alright, so that's basically going to bring us to a close on part 2 of the transmission install. Everything's in there except for the drive shaft. We're having a new one made from
Carolina driveline.
So that's going to finish that up. The only real issues, well, we ended up with a few issues, just stuff that made it take a little longer. So if anybody's wondering where Chance disappeared to in the middle of the video, he got hot and bored because of the tedious things, and so he went inside to start playing a little bit of Roblox. And that's where he was. Anyway, the only things that we have left to do is to just put the seat back in and get back in the ground, and then see, make sure our clutch is adjusted properly, and then we'll all be ready to go again. So we're changing out the seat belts while the bench is out. I didn't like the lap belts that we got, so we got some nice retractable ones to go in here, so we're swapping those out before the seat and the carpet go back in. But other than that, we're all done. Unless Chance has anything else to say?
That I have superpowers.
Anyway, don't forget to like, subscribe. We'll have more videos coming out pretty soon. Now that we've got our new transmission in, we'll actually be able to get a little further from the house, and we won't have to listen to the sound of the transmission in all of our videos. So anyway, thanks for watching Adventures with Edna, and we'll see you in the next one.
I'll prove it.